A North Carolina state trooper is on administrative leave after he shot and killed a deaf and mute man by the name of Daniel Harris. Now, this altercation began when Harris was behind the wheel. He was allegedly speeding, and police wanted to pull him over. Now, considering the fact that he was deaf, of course, he didn't hear the sirens, and as a result, he didn't pull over. Police allege that at that point, he led them on a 7-mile chase. Now, let me give you more details based on the New York Daily News. Police claim they attempted to pull Harris over for speeding, but he continued driving home instead of pulling over. Whether Harris fully understood what was happening, since he could not have heard the sirens, is unclear. Daniel Harris was driving a Volvo on Interstate 485 in the Charlotte area when a trooper tried to pull him over on suspicion of speeding around 6:15 p.m. Thursday, the North Carolina State Highway Patrol said Harris did not stop, but instead exited the freeway and drove to his Charlotte neighborhood. So there were some witnesses, and preliminary reports indicate that witnesses say the cop shot him immediately, okay? But that's according to what witnesses say. Of course, there needs to be an investigation. Of course, there still aren't enough details about this story. We're just reporting what we know at this moment, okay? So he gets out of the vehicle. Some reports indicate that they said something to each other, although he's mute and apparently he only communicates using sign language. And so after that happened, a cop by the name of Trooper Jermaine Saunders shot and killed him.
They're now shooting white people in Volvos. So I told you, man, the training is wrong. The training is wrong. When are we going to get it through our thick heads? Training is, watch out, everybody's a threat, everybody's a threat. Take him down, take him down. I'm going home, my job's to get home safe. It's not your job. Your job's to protect and to serve. So I want you to get home safe, but I also want civilians to get home safe. So the cops are saying, oh, we're not saying whether he was armed or unarmed. Yeah, trust me, you would tell us if he was armed. And no, he has no reason for being armed. Now they put the family in a horrible situation where they have to go out and say, even though their son was shot apparently completely unjustifiably, no, our son has no history of violence. No, our son wasn't armed. Like every time a cop shoots somebody, they're presumed guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And right now,
and they're the ones who are dead.
So right now what the family is doing is raising money not only for his funeral costs, but they also want to make some changes in the way that police are trained when it comes to dealing with those with disabilities. They're also trying to change a law within the DMV that would require some sort of information to pop up if the driver is deaf and the cop looks that individual up through his license plate. There should be some sort of alert so the cop is aware that this individual is deaf. But more importantly, look, again, we don't have all the details. Right now, there are a number of body cam videos that are being collected, surveillance from the area being collected, so more details will come out as this story develops. But what I'm unsure about, and what we don't know about at this point, is whether or not the authorities used any type of non-lethal weapon to subdue him if he posed any kind of threat. Now, I don't believe he posed a threat. He's a skinny, deaf, mute guy, okay, who maybe didn't hear the sirens, which is why he didn't pull over. But nonetheless, if they did feel like he was a threat, did they use a taser? Did they use some other way to, restrain him? It doesn't seem like they have, but I could be wrong. We're waiting to see what the details are of the story.
No, we train the cops to be panicked. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. They can shoot you and kill you at any moment. Make sure you act first. And then we're shocked when they act immediately. They shoot first and ask questions later. So, look, one of his neighbors, Mark Barringer, saw a part of the confrontation. That's why Anna's right. Get all the evidence first. Doesn't look good right now. But Barringer said they should have de-escalated. But that's not what they're taught. So some are, and by the way, we're giving credit to police departments that explain, hey, you should be aware that there are people with mental issues in our community as well. And so they might not listen to your orders as much as you want them to. And so when they do that kind of training, the cops don't kill them. So it's not like we've never heard of it. Oh my God, we can't possibly do it. No, police departments like San Antonio do it and have great results. So the police departments that are choosing not to do it are doing it because they don't give a damn And they think, I don't care, I don't care. I'm not going to take 1% chance with any well-being of mine. The guy's all the way over there. If you don't listen to my orders immediately, I'm putting you down. Because what Daniel Harris didn't understand was that he was committing the greatest crime in America. He didn't know it and he didn't intend it. But that crime is disrespecting a police officer. So the police officer says, and he's been trained, don't ever let anyone not listen to your orders. You get order right away and you get them to bow their head. Now, I know why they do it, because you don't want anarchy, you don't want the situation to go out of control, but you have to have some bounds of reason in doing that. You can't just say, no, escalate, 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 escalate. And I know not every cop does that, and I know not all training is that way. I just gave credit to the cops who do it the right way. But there are far too many police departments in this country that take good people who sign up to be cops and train them to be overly aggressive and say, if anyone disrespects you, which is, by the way, very similar to what the mob says. If anyone disrespects you, okay, don't let them get away with it. And remember, everyone is a threat, and some more than others. So when they run into a person who doesn't understand their orders because he doesn't hear it, they're like, well, I was taught. This is a big mortal danger to me. Yeah. I got to end the danger before it becomes this much of a threat to me. So now that kid is dead, and you'll never get him back, because we train our cops the wrong way. Other countries that train their cops in a different way don't have anywhere near the amount of police shootings that we have. And one last thing, to be fair to the cops, we also have 300 million guns in the country. So there is some justification in teaching the cops, be careful, everybody in America is armed, right? So in Sweden, it's easier for a cop to de-escalate because almost no one else has a weapon. But here in America, we're like, oh, I got rights. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shoot out and I got armor-piercing bullets and all this stuff, and I'm ready, and I'm going to take down the tyrants of the government. And then when a poor kid who's deaf comes across a cop's like jittery, everybody's got a gun, and they told me to put down the threat, and next thing you know, he shoots and kills him. We got to end this madness, man. It's a cycle of violence, and it's for people who are outside of the law, there's not much we can do about them. We can bring them to justice. But for the people who are supposed to impose the law, they work for us. There's a lot we could do about that. And we need to hold them to account a lot better than we are today.
Yeah, look, all I ask, it's a very simple request. And I think that it's, you know, it might be a little more challenging for cops to do, but we've seen examples of it so they can do it. I ask that the cops use the same restraint in dealing with everyone, the same way the cops dealt with the Clive and Bundy sovereign citizens, who were literally threatening their lives, who literally were armed, but none of them were shot at, none of them were killed immediately, none of them were killed, right? The cops showed a tremendous amount of restraint there. And all I ask is that every cop use that as an example, do a little investigation, ask a few questions before you decide to shoot and kill innocent people, including someone who's deaf and mute and might not be able to hear or understand what you want from him.
So there's two different Bundy showdowns, as you know. The Clive and Bundy one that Anna is referring to, they pointed all those weapons at cops. You can go look online, see all those pictures. They're pointing weapons at cops, talking about how they'll kill them if they come on their property.
Right.
No action. They didn't even arrest them. They didn't even arrest them. That's unbelievable. Then, encouraged by that, his sons, Eamon Bundy and the others, took over a federal government property up in Oregon. Then they made videos, we're going to shoot the cops, we're going to shoot the cops, we're going to shoot the cops. You see their weapons in the videos. Then they go to take over another county. Finally, the cops go, okay, no, we're not going to let you take over a neighboring county. Finally, there's a showdown, and one guy gets shot after he gets out, and he has said on the record before that he's going to kill the cops and that he has a weapon. And he reaches into his pocket about 8 times, and finally the cops shoot him. That's the only time that the cops have responded to the Bundys. So if you can show that kind of restraint in one case, apparently you're capable of it in other instances, but police departments in their training are choosing not to show that restraint with the rest of us. You know, the Young Turks has a whole 2-hour show every single day, and you can get it ad-free if you're a member. tytnetwork.com/join. Go.